Hi Tabby, I'm AJ. I'm the athletic trainer, and I know that you're here for your post-surgery rehab from your labral tear.
Yeah, I am.
So we're going to do the best we can to get you back into playing lacrosse, but first we're going to do a few different maneuvers that will help you out. So if you can just follow what I do.
You want me to stand up or sit down?
You can stand up, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
So there's a few different maneuvers that we plan on doing with you. One is called D1, flexion and extension. It's a couple different movements combined into one solid movement. So first what you would do is...
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, go for it.
What does this do for my shoulder?
It's a stretching maneuver that, like a PNF, a certain type of stretching. It helps with muscular strength, endurance, and stability.
Okay.
So what we do, you start in this position, and what I want you to do is shoulder flexion, adduction, and external rotation, along with forearm supination, radial flexion, and finger flexion. And it will look just like this. And then you can go back into neutral from that position, which would be D1 extension. And that is shoulder extension, abduction, internal rotation, forearm pronation, radial extension, and finger extension, just like that. So can you lay on the table for me? We can do this resistance also. So the stronger you get, the more resistance we will eventually add. So go into that motion as I resist you. Good. Now go back to neutral. Good. Okay. Hi Tabby, so we just finished the D1 flexion and extension, and now I'd like to show you D2 flexion and extension. Imagine this as pulling a sword out the sheath and throwing it in the air. So first I want you to start in this position, and what I want you to do is shoulder flexion, abduction, and external rotation, along with forearm supination, radial extension, and finger extension. And that will leave you in this position. That's D2 flexion. Now for D2 extension, you're just going to do the reverse to put you back into that neutral position. So this would be shoulder extension, adduction, and internal rotation, along with pronation and ulnar extension and finger flexion to go right back into grabbing the sword. Now we can do this with manual resistance too, so if you lay on the table, I will show you how to do that. So go into that neutral position, and now bring your arm up as I resist you. And now D2 extension to go back into that neutral position. Okay.
Hi AJ, I'm Tabby, the athletic trainer.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I'm going to be helping with your hip labrum tear since you're a hurdler. The first things we're going to do are some D1 and D2 PNF stretching.
What's PNF?
PNF stretching is a type of stretching that will increase your flexibility. It'll also increase your hip stability, your muscular strength, and muscular endurance.
Okay.
Alright, so could you lay on your back please? Which one's your injured hip?
Right here.
Alright, so the first motion we're going to do is D1. I'm going to grab your foot and your knee. I'm going to flex your hip. You're going to adduct it and then externally rotate it. Your foot and toes are going to be pointed towards the sky, and I'm going to roll your foot in. Then D2 extension, or D1 extension is the opposite. I'm going to internally rotate your hip. I'm going to extend and adduct it, or abduct it, and then I'm going to evert your foot, point it down, and flex your toes.
Okay.
You can also do it with more resistance, so I will place my hand on the outside when you're going up into flexion. That way it makes you want to go that way, and then do the opposite, going down. that was D1 flexion and extension. We're going into D2 flexion and extension. Is that all right?
Okay, yep.
I'm going to place my hands in the same positions I did before. I'm going to flex your hip, abduct your hip, and internally rotate your hip. Your foot will be up in dorsiflexion and everted, and your toes will be extended. And then D2 extension is the opposite. I will externally rotate your hip, extend and adduct. Your toes will be down, your foot will be inverted, and your toes are flexed.
Okay.
I can also do more resistance with this one as well. I will resist going up, out to the side, out, and then the opposite. And that will be all for today.
Thanks.